Shalom, shalom. This is Brother Amon coming at you with a lesson, giving praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, B'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, B'Hashem, Rucha HaKadosh. And as always, we give double honors to the apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. So, I did a lesson on this video, but it wasn't pertaining to the actual content of the title of this video. It was to do with the chariots that flew over the video, but I thought I'd do a lesson on it, man, because something happened to me last week. It wasn't nothing major, no big deal, but it just, it's an opportunity to just show you how, you're supposed to apply the scriptures, man. So long story short, this is after we done a Sunday sit down at the brother Caleb's house. And on my way home, I reached a particular town. I won't mention the name, but it's a busy town, especially at the weekends. And I needed to relieve my bladder. Long story short, so I'm walking to a bus stop, and it came on me, that I needed to, like I just said, relieve my bladder. So I dipped into this side road, like this really tight alleyway, where it's just like the back of the shops and stuff, and did what I had to do, and tidying myself up, whatever. As I'm doing that, these lights of a car turn the corner, and it's the police. So I'm thinking, okay, here we go. So anyway, they roll up, and when the driver says to me, how would you like it if he said something like, tell me where you live and I'll go to around your house and piss on your doorstep. And I'm thinking, this guy's going a bit too deep already, but I just decided to, apply the scriptures and say, listen. I just said, look, I get that, but I was desperate. He said, well, there's this place and there's that place, there's a police station around the corner, you could have went at. And I'm thinking to myself, I said to him, I said, sorry, I didn't know that. Because I'm just trying to get home. I don't want these guys would try and get you for anything. They want you to get, he wanted me to ride up against him. I could tell. The guy in the passenger seat, he wasn't saying anything, man. He was just kind of not even interested, man. And you know why? Because this is a town where there's a lot of activity at night time, a lot of drinking. There's a lot of concerts and stuff that go on in that area. And people are doing that 24/7. There's people, relieving their bladders up against walls and in the corners everywhere in this place, man. It's nothing new. And as a man, you find yourself caught, with the call of nature, as they say, needing to relieve yourself, relieve your bladder, right? And sometimes you just have to do it in places where you shouldn't really be doing it. I'm not going to say that it's right for me to do that, because it wasn't. Right, but sometimes, the world isn't set up where it's just convenient for you to just be able to, go to the toilet, the lavatory when you need to, it's not set up like that. So sometimes we have to do things that we prefer not to do. And I can guarantee you, those two officers in that car have done what I was doing. I can guarantee you. I don't think there's a man on earth, hardly, that have come into, the age of being a man and not had to do that. But anyway, to cut it short, I agreed with them, and he eventually just drove off, right? And that was that. And I'm not going to say I wasn't annoyed, because I was annoyed, because it was like, you're talking to me like, first off, I'm probably twice your age, and secondly, you're talking to me like you've never done that before. And I know they have. Alright. Anyway, long story short, I agreed with what they were saying, and I moved on. They went their way, and I went about my way, man. We're living in a society where everything is against us. And we have curses over us, and these officers, man, these overseers are, they're waiting for a chance for you to buck up against them, man, so they can just do whatever. Imagine me going back to the station for that, because they could have. That's against the law, man. But they could have done that. It's not lawful to do that, what I was doing. I'm going to be honest with you. Alright? In this land, it's not lawful. It's against their laws to do that. Right? So they could have went deeper, but they, because I quelled it by applying the scriptures, man. And this guy here, although it says first charge, cop, violence, so yeah, because he went overboard, man. But this guy, he was being belligerent, and I understand why Jakes are like that, because they see Edomites running the same playbook, and they see Edomites doing it, and they think they can get away with it. But this world isn't for us. The laws in this place isn't made for us. We're under the curses, man. We can't move. The scriptures tell you that the wicked, they are not in trouble as other men, meaning that they can do the same thing as us, but we will get a different punishment, a different sentences for what we do. Or they most likely will get lighter sentences or get away with things, man. Alright, I want to play a little bit of this just to show you. Alright.
They lock me up for nothing, Oakland. They're presented.
I'll have to be able to inspect them, Mr. Higgs.
What's the security devices? Because I don't know what they are.
Okay.
I didn't tell you I wasn't going to sign it. I told you I was.
Remain in your vehicle. Turn around, put your hands behind your back. Turn around, behind your right. Hands behind your back. Don't now put your hands in your pocket.
Shut up, fool.
Put your hands.
There you see, he's gone over the top, man. I often watch this, man. Just, I don't even know why, to be fair. So there's plenty of reasons I often watch these videos. Well, anyway, first and foremost, man, there's not even any guarantee that just because you act accordingly that you're gonna be alright. Okay, I'll say that. First and foremost, the guy is being belligerent and bucking up against the officer's orders, whether they be lawful or not. And this officer is overzealous with his actions, man. But this is just a lesson, right? That's to say that if you're caught in a situation, you need to really do your best to just calm it and get the hell out of there. I'm going to get a quick scripture because I've been talking for a while, man. Now we'll start here. I'm not going to start. We'll start here. In Matthew 5 and 25, it says, "Agree with thine adversary quickly." Right. So just calm the situation, man. Nod your head and say, "Yeah, you're right. You're right." I know it might seem like you're playing yourself, but you have to move this way in this society, man. Let your pride go. Right. Let your pride go. I remember when we got arrested one time teaching in one town because one brother said something to a woman, which was, it wasn't it wasn't really a lawful arrest, but we got arrested anyway. And one of the guys, I'm not going to mention, he's not with us anymore. I'm not going to mention his name though, only for that. He was trying to argue with the officers, man, telling them that they're not doing their job, this, that, and the other. It's like, and then one of the elder men in the camp. I was still new then at the time. This is a long time ago now. I looked to him for guidance. He said, "Just let them take us." Man. They said, "Let them take us," and he was right. Agree with thine adversary quickly. He says, "Whilst thou art in the way with him, lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and thou be cast into prison." See, there's a process. So you can avoid certain things if you just. Sometimes all they want is your compliance, man. Just so because a lot of these guys are on power trips, man. They get a piece of authority and they think they rule the world, man. So you have to let them sometimes feel that they've won. Let them have that, man. At the end of the day, we're Israelites, man. We're about to take this place over. Through Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, man. We're about to take this world over. And then they're going to be under our laws, man. And we're still, and after all they've done, we're still going to deal lawfully according to our laws, though. Right, and there's a big thing coming for these Edomites, man. There's a big downfall coming for them, So just let it play out, man. We can't win on this side. Let's get back to that video. Just watch a little bit more of it. See where it turns, where all turns sour. Most of them skip to it. We don't need to watch the whole thing, you know what I mean? It's like, is it here? Yeah. So showing you that the officer is, he's not following the correct laws and protocols. He's driving in his car, no seatbelt. So it's unlawful acts and on unlawful men trying to govern other men.
Remain in your vehicle, Mr. Hicks. Remain in your vehicle, Mr. Hicks. Remain in your vehicle. Turn around with your
hands behind your back. Turn him to remain in the vehicle, man.
Hands behind your back.
He's not listening to a word he's saying now. Whether it's lawful or not, he's the man in control here. He's got the taser, he's got the gun.
Turn around, put your hands behind your back, do it now. Turn around, put your hands behind your back, do it now. Put your hands behind your back, Mr.
Still not listening. How many times has he said that now?
Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. Do it. Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. Get on the ground. Face down. Stay on the ground. Stay on the ground.
Now the man's clearly not a threat. He has no weapons on him. Alright, it's just a power trip with the officer. And more so pride now because he's been talking shit basically to this guy from the moment he pulled him over. So now he's pissed and he's really trying to get him or something. And now, look, mission accomplished, man. Now you're going to jail, right? You might be able to sue and whatnot later on and get the cop gets filed and sued or whatever. But yeah, you went through with this, man. For what? Because someone pulled you over, man. Anyway, listen, man.
I can get up.
If you want to watch this video, man, there's the title, but I'm not going to go too deep into that, man. This is it's a jump off for the lesson, man. So I'm going to read this again. It says, agree, Matthew 5:25, agree with thine adversary quickly, whilst thou art in the way with him, lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and thou be cast into prison. Right? Verily I say unto thee, thou shalt by no means come out thence, till thou hast paid the utmost farthing. So basically, you come out when you paid the price, the penalty, man. Alright? The uttermost penalty, meaning that you're the fullest. You'll be done to the fullest of the law, man. Alright? That process, man. Delivery to the judge delivery to the officer, the correctional officer, basically, the prison officer, and we cast in there, man. Let's go here real quick. No, in fact, let's go Deuteronomy, man. Because it's, can't remember what it said. There it is. There's a few anyway, man. But let's get verse 29. It says, and thou shalt grope at noonday, and as the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee. You're groping at noonday, man, because not having the knowledge, man. Blind, basically. Blind through not having the knowledge of this truth. That's what kept me out of getting any further trouble. Imagine if I started rolling up my mouth to the officers, man. Just for that. They could have, the station was just around the corner and there'd been nothing to them. Just to piss me off for the night. You know what I'm saying? It says, moreover, verse 45 says, moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. Right? Therefore, verse 48, thou shalt serve thine enemies which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. He shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. But there's one particular one I'm trying to look for. That's it. It's like verse 66. And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shalt have none assurance of thy life. You know, especially out there in Babylon, man, messing with them officers out there, them overseers, man. They're carrying them sidearms, man. They'll put an end to your life just like that, and get away with it. So why are you messing with them like that? Over here, at least in the UK, they're not really moving like that. They can still put you to death because it's been done without firearms. You know. Where was I in this one? Actually, it's from 2, I think. Yeah. Actually, just read it from the top. Proverbs 6:1. It says, "My son, if thou be surety for thy friend, if thou hast stricken thy hand with a stranger, thou art snared with the words of thy mouth. Thou art taken with the words of thy mouth." Right? Meaning what your mouth can get you into trouble, man. Learn to hold that. Alright? Learn to control what comes out of it. Learn to think before you open it. Right? "Do this now, my son, and deliver thyself." See? "When thou art come into the hand of thy friend, go humble thyself, and make sure thy friend." Give not sleep to thine eyes, nor slumber to thine eyelids. Deliver thyself as a roe from the hand of the hunter, and as a bird from the hand of the fowler. "Go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider her ways and be wise, which having no guide, overseer or ruler." And that's going into something else. But the point of the matter is that here, don't let your mouth get you into trouble, man. Alright, don't run your mouth. That's why we got arrested. Because one of the guys in the camp who's no longer with us was running his mouth to some Edomite woman that was there, and she went and called the police, man. Knowing that she had the power in her hands to do that. That they were going to listen to her over us. There was no question about whether what was said was true or not. They just decided that it was. Because it was, in their eyes, a bunch of niggas on the streets just talking shit. And a little white lady goes and tells them, and whatever she says is gospel, man. So-called white, I should say. Speaking of prison, let's read this. Isaiah 42:22 says, "But this is a people," speaking of Israel, right, "robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses. They are for a prey, and none deliver; for a spoil, and none saith restore." No one cares, man. People are just locked up like there's no tomorrow. And I'm going to just finish it here, man, and I'll close it. Luke 12:58. "When thou goest with thine adversary to the magistrate, as thou art in the way, give diligence that thou mayest be delivered from him, lest he hale thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, as we read before, and the officer cast thee into prison." Right? So just agree, man, and move on. You might get to live another day. You might not. You might get to go home that night to your own crib, to your own bed. Apply the scriptures, basically, man. Anyway, Lord, that was edifying. must give all praises on the glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rahawadash. Double honor to the apostles and the bishops, great millstones. Peace and blessings to the elect, man. Shalom.